I haven't even used them. Yeah. But that was amazing. There's big thousands of them. That's why I get told. You just need the basic one. And I did that with the people that I bought. Yeah. Every hour or so per day. And I'm one. That's the part that we feel and we don't get part of the you might say like, I'm not listening. I need something. You're like, yeah, I'm sure they're gonna. There's a lot of stuff. That's the part of the dream. I mean, it does. Or often not really good for my Oh, it's in it today. I think we're going back and forth. Yeah, I'll go back to the galaxy. Brother, how are you? Yeah. Quiero llevarla. Right, all right. We're about to start to be about
you.
Oh, you're ready?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, it's good. Yeah, let's go. All right, y'all, we're gonna get started. That's not your chance.
Yeah.
Get your food.
I was trying, but still, you know.
Knock her out. Get your food quick and easy. And another like tea. All right, so get your tea, get your taco, and we're gonna make it work. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We got it. Be careful. Anna's in the building. Anna's in the building. Welcome, you guys. I appreciate you being here. We have a cool, we are ready to rock and roll, so. Where's Sean? If you have not seen Sean, you gotta see Sean, and you gotta get, or ATM. Yeah, a giveaway. Let's go to you. No, prayer in your name. Maybe go to Jen. All right, while we're finishing that up, I appreciate we got a ton of y'all in here today. Let's make it happen. We got people that are doing big things, and so we're going to start with some big things this morning. As Sean is finishing up, if you have not seen Sean yet, I want to ask you to think about what it is that was different. What did you learn? Where did you grow? Or in this case, where did you find gratitude in your life? Anybody want to share? What did you learn this week? Or where did you grow? Or what are you grateful for? In the back.
I learned that there's a lot of big words that they.
Brand has an HOA emergency to deal with for those of you at home. Yeah. You learned this week that if you are going to write a deal on a condo, on a townhome that's in an HOA, going to take a little bit of extra. Patience. Let me learn this week. Go ahead here.
2 weeks ago, Tony Robbins training, and I learned from my coach that everything you do in business or life, there's a person ahead of you and a person behind you. So you don't have to be ahead, and you don't have to help. You're right where you need to be.
Right? I love that. You guys didn't hear that. What George said is perfect. There's somebody ahead of you and somebody behind you. You are where you were supposed to be, right? That's a good place for you to be, is where you are, because you make the difference in your life. Anybody else learn anything? Peter.
Back to the HOA stuff, the legislature and Senate are meeting.
Yeah.
Did you change all that, make it worse?
For the worst.
Okay. Or that if you hustle your tushy off on the appointments and not concentrate on the business, but just the appointment, man, the business will follow.
How many did you write this weekend and get accepted?
4.
40 of them.
Awesome.
Appointments, keeping that up.
Yeah. Next time we're gonna have Lynn up here, we're gonna talk about how to close 4 weeks.
So another thing I saw last week to me was you always do the right thing.
Yeah.
I service some people did the right thing. This week,
There you go.
I didn't call me.
That's doing the right thing. One of the things that we always talk about is doing the right thing is doing the right thing even when no one is watching, right? And that's the perfect place. That's a good place for us to talk about our gratitude, about being in business with people who do what they say they're going to do. All right, Sean, as no further wait, you're going to pull a name. Got off on that. With Emmy not in here yelling at me, I did. Peter Hitler's. I don't know. There's anything. All right, appreciate you, appreciate your gratitude and anything that you learned in the last week. That is awesome, you guys. We have a busy meeting today, but I have 100 things written. First up is our friend, Great North Title. Kayla, come on out.
You. Hi, guys. Good morning. So for food today, we have Herbalife teas provided by Elizabeth Thompson from Incredible Nutrition for You. So I'm gonna have her talk for a few seconds.
All right, like you said, I'm Elizabeth Thompson, and thank you, Kayla, for inviting me. I appreciate that. So I own Incredible Nutrition for You. It's on the corner of Rice Street and Little Canada Road. It's a wellness center. We have 85 flavors of protein smoothies. We have cardio drumming and strength training workouts. We have infrared sauna, all kinds of things for good health. We have a brochure in the back if anybody wants those. But we also have healthy energy drinks. So that's what you're testing or trying today. They will give you a little bit of physical energy. What you're gonna notice the most from them is it wakes your brain up. So helps you with focus, helps you have a absolutely motivational rocking day. They are very low in sugars and carbs and yeah, just super healthy for you and with no jitters or crashes. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. So we have balance, right? Taco Bell and healthy energy. Okay, let's talk about title for a little bit. We're gonna do a quick little mini title edition. We're gonna talk about deeds for a little bit. So, anybody know the most popular deed? Somebody went through a title class. Yes, so we're gonna talk about deeds. They're on line 259 is where you guys are gonna check these deeds. So let's go over, if your seller is X, what deed am I gonna check? Next, the most popular drum roll warranty deed. So individuals and companies, that is the one you're going to check. The next one, personal representative deed. I was gonna ask you guys who would check that box. That is right here. Estate. So if you have an estate, that is the T box that you're going to check. I believe the next one is contract for deed. So if you have a contract for deed, also you guys, we're happy to put you in business with top talent around the Twin Cities. So if you guys need a lawyer or anything like that, a estate planner who can do these contracts for deed for you, we have those people lined up. And we only work with the best of the best. So if we're gonna put our name behind it, we would definitely. So, next deed, last one, trustees deed. So if your seller is on trust, so that is the box that you guys would check. If anything changes, you can always send us an amendment, and we will kind of help you through the process of all those deeds before anything needs to be changed. The last one. So again, I like to talk about our net sheets. Please scan that if you haven't, save it to your phone. They are truly some of the best net sheets that you guys can create. And then after the team meeting today is going to be Dash. So you guys, if you can do something for your business, stay for this class. Dash is truly so intelligent and talks about roof age and all the different changes in insurance that's happening. That's kind of surrounding all the United States. So please stay for that. He is phenomenal. He's a great speaker, very engaging, and you guys will not regret it. So enjoy your Taco Bell and your Burger Life. Thank you again, Elizabeth. Her shop is right down the road. Give it a visit.
There's a good question before you should. So is a limited warranty deed a thing anymore? Because I know that's one I worked with another agent.
Limited thing anymore.
The answer is yes. Yes, it is. There is another box that you can check if you wanted to be more specific with different deed, other than the 4 that are listed. If you want more details, come see me afterwards.
Thank you, guys.
Next, you guys, 2 things. One, I would like to take this moment. We have a birthday today, and he's gonna freaking love this. It is Isaac's birthday today, you guys. I don't want to take a minute to say some happy birthday. So here we are. And this is gonna be the best year as well, so let's get it. Right, let's get it. All right. One of the things that I want to talk about as we introduce our next guest today is the idea of, how many of you, just raise your hand if you want more time in your life? Okay, keep them up if you want more time, and you still want to be able to achieve the same things you're doing right now, or more. I like you guys. Sean, come on up and tell them what they're missing about the leverage you can have them provide and time they can back in their life.
Thanks for that great introduction, Nick. So, just really want a quick touch base again on my 36 touch plan. So, we did some thinking over it. I know it was initially at 150. We did drop the price on that to 100. So, I'm assuming you all know what a 36 touch plan is, correct?
Let's not assume, what is the 36 touch?
So it is 3 emails per month for 36 touches per year. Obviously, we can change that out to social media posts, postcards, whatever that looks like. But I just wanted to put some examples up here of some of the things that I have done for this 36 touch program. So your maintenance tips, your home upgrades, community spotlights. I always try to come from value from these, so it's not just boring market stats. Obviously that's on there, but we want to come with contribution for all this stuff, bring value to your clients. Now, I understand a lot of times with these 36 touches, I get the constant comment of, well, if they're not gonna like it, they're just gonna delete the email, they're gonna unsubscribe from me, they're gonna be bored with me. That's part of the game, guys. I mean, that's what's gonna happen. People are gonna unsubscribe. 95% aren't gonna look at the email, but it's being top of mind. They're gonna see your name pop up in their inbox. Say, yeah, quick delete that, whatever. But you're being top of mind. They're gonna see your name, you're gonna be the first one they see, just like social media. It's painstaking, it's not always exciting, but being top of mind is very important. So I brought some statistics to show that as well. Anyone who utilizes a 36 touch system can expect approximately 17 transactions per 100 contracts. Compared to the agents who don't use one, who struggle to generate predictable business because they aren't staying consistently connected. So, like I said, this is a very important thing to have. It's $100 a month, guys. It's super simple. I do everything for you. I put all the content together. I will send out all of the emails. All I ask is that your database is cleaned up. So, if you're interested, come talk to me. I'm here and I'm happy to help. Thank you.
There are a whole lot of other places in our business that we have somebody as skilled as him to be able to set something like this up and for you to not have to do it, right? How many of you wish you could do certain things, but just don't ever do it, right? This is one of those moments where you can hit the easy button and we made it so that the cost of this is in alignment with what we believe is your business. And so guys, this is your opportunity. If you're looking for a way to offset the activities that maybe you don't do as well, maybe you've been intending to do, honestly, Sean is intentional, he's consistent, and he can show up as a part of your business in this way that starts to generate more activities for you guys. Do you believe that if you use the 36 touch consistently, that depending on how many people are in your database, you believe that you could find one more transaction next year, in the next 12 months, by having a 36 touch that was in the system? Let's say it louder. Do you believe that? Yeah. All right. I don't want to bang on this, but if you guys are going to get better this year, it starts with doing things you haven't done before, and this is one of those things. Leverage out your business, give yourself some opportunity to do the things that you love. If you're not good at this, right? You don't have to be good at everything. What is your job as a real estate agent? And what is lead gen lead to? Opportunities, right? This type of, what's that? That's it. So this is it, you guys. Take yourself, look at the next 12 months of your life and say, for $100 a month, could I be in better communication with my database? Does that answer yes or no? Let's loud. Come on, y'all. Do this. Yeah. Go. Right?
Person, or what is it?
Yeah. No, it's $100 per month.
Right,
But not for your whole database.
not for contact.
Not for content. Just for your whole database. Lisa said yes. If it wasn't $100 a person, I think she did. We just brought that up, explain down real low. You have paperwork we can sign out. All right, guys, moving on. We have next up questions. Come on down. We have an incredible diverse group today. Start with Grant Thompson. You guys might know him as the realtor. Move. Come on. We've got George Yang, ladies and gentlemen. George is Bob. And Lisa Purcell, who is here day and night and longer than me now, and I don't even know how that works, so. Guys, I'm gonna hand you, George will start just in the middle. I'll grab this one.
Hard to balance.
For some default, it's not on me. All right, guys, so we're gonna do this first question real quick because I know that it gets kind of boring for you guys to answer this, and it gets kind of boring for you guys to hear this, but I think it's important. So, George, we'll start with you, then we'll go to Lisa and then to Grant. How long you been in the business? Are you a solo agent or you're on a team? How many transactions did you do in 24?
All right, guys, George Yang with Team LNG. I operate like a solo agent, but I am a husband and wife team. However, I am the only production, so I'm really like a solo agent. I had to write it down because I had such a long day yesterday. It was like a 10-hour day, 2 buyers, 1 closing, and I had this one excited. So it was just, I had to put my ideas down on paper just because of the long day. My average numbers are between 20 to 30 per year. But again, I operate like a solo agent. Is that all the questions? Did I miss one?
No, you're good.
And I've been in the business, this is my 10th year as a residential agent, but I started in the business about 15 years ago. I started out as an investor doing rehabs.
Lisa Purcell, Pickle Property Team. I've been in the business 21 years. I started on a team, went solo, created a team, went solo. I now have a pretty big team, but it's invisible. As far as transactions, my business goes like this. And I've sold over 600 houses. So if you do the math, that's over 30 a year. But last year I sold 16 houses. This year, we just closed Q1 yesterday. I already have sold and have under contract 13. So here we go.
You mentioned you do a lot of REOs.
We didn't get into that.
This is my 4th year in real estate, and across the first 3 years, I averaged 7 per year. This year, we're looking at, right now, I've got buyers and sellers. I already have 20 people signed, ready to transact this year. So of course, a few more might fall off, but we've got a big year ahead of us. So looking to at minimum double this year. I am a solo agent right now. I was on the Corby team for basically my first 3 years. And it was, yeah, great start to everything. So now we're testing out solo.
All right, so then Grant, this is a great place for you to start. We're developing the tactics, the systems and the model that you need to make your business a success. This is one of those conversations when you're not out showing homes and closing deals. How much time do you spend working on your business as opposed to in your business?
So I don't, of course, have the exact numbers correctly, but it ebbs and flows because one, I mean, being on the team, a lot of those models and systems were already handled by Travis. But my transition off of the team, a lot of hours were put into that, creating my own systems, my own model. And then once I had them in place, less and less time to spend on it. And more can be then dumped into actually working in my business, working on my clients, working on my lead gen. And then it's just refreshers of, okay, update this model, update the system a little bit. So less and less time as I go on now, it's spent on actually creating the business itself.
So I had to run my numbers last night because, like Lisa is saying, some years are more crazy than others. However, my numbers are around 14 to 26 on the business
I do a lot of training and coaching, like with Tony Robinson, but I coach on myself outside of the business. So I do about 14 to 26 hours on, and in the business, I'm between 40 to 52 hours a week. Most of that bulk is actually talking to people.
I didn't think about training as being on the business, but I guess it is. Right now, I'm not really doing any active, training, but throughout my career, it's something I'm always hungry for. So right now, I would say I probably spend 1.5 hours on my business. Like doing something, but then there's probably like 4 or 5 hours in my head that I'm thinking about. And in the past, I've spent up to 10 hours a week on working on my business, being in trainings and things like that. So,
Lisa, we'll stay with you. This is one of those conversations that we talk a lot about, right? And that is, what are the three legs of your stool that support your business? What do you focus on, and has that changed over time?
yeah. So my business looks very different than most agents. I'm always reluctant to get up here and talk about my business because of that. But my three legs of my business are REO, which is bank-owned properties, investors, working with investors, and probably divorce attorneys, working with divorce attorneys. And then there's another, actually fourth one, which is internet leads, but it kind of like silent and runs in the background. So part of my team is I do have an IFA team that's calling internet leads. So I don't have to do anything except pick up the phone and talk to the people and then try and convert them. Has it changed over time? Yeah, absolutely. So when I started out in the business working on a team, it was very heavy into Sphere and database, and that agent that I worked for specialized in investors. So that's how I learned about investors. Then when I left the team is when the market crashed back in 2007. And it was sink or swim time. Like, how am I going to survive? And I realized that REO was really the market at the moment. And so I just said, all right, I either get in or I get out. And so I got in and I ended up loving it and I ended up succeeding at a pretty high level. And so that continued to feed me even as the market got better. And then when the market got really good, like in about 2020, and all of a sudden there's a foreclosure moratorium, Lisa's really hurting because she put all her eggs in one basket. So then I said, okay, so what other market can I go after? And I'm like, well, people are stuck at home with their family, getting phone with their family, or they're going to absolutely hate them. And of course, it's going to spike. Let me figure this one out. So then I went hot and heavy in the divorce arena, and I started marketing to family law attorneys. I got myself like on the inside of the group where I'd be going to happy hours with them and things like that. And so I did that for several years, and then I was like, I'm not really getting the return that I really want from this. Like, there's opportunity here, but somehow not coming to me. So I quit actively marketing. However, because I had made myself known in that arena, I still get referrals. So basically I'll just get an email. Okay, we have a court order to sell the house. You're named in it. Here's your list. Yeah, sweet. So that one still continues to feed me to this day. And I think that's pretty much it as far as that goes. As far as investors go, because I worked in the REO market, you're dealing with distressed property, so you just naturally attract investors. So, and because I had started on a team that focused on investors, I really learned that whole world. And so I have worked with corporate Wall Street investors who are buying huge portfolios of properties. And then right now I'm working on the other side of working with those investors who are now selling off their portfolios. So I think I told you more than you asked.
No. opportunity that what you just talked about, we won't talk about as much, right?
Right.
It's a different part of our business that you've chosen to focus on that allows you to be a little bit more business,
Yeah.
the conversation, right?
Yeah, and
I mean, there's a lot of emotion in a divorce, but
there's a lot of emotion, but it's still like, how do you understand the mindset and how do you understand the court orders and like what's required? Yeah, and I had thought about going into commercial for a short period of time just because this is like my mind, but it's then learning a whole different language and things like that.
Yeah.
So, and I guess for me, as far as the lead generation stuff goes, it's like I've gone deep in a particular area, which is why I've been successful.
yeah, and stayed consistent in that time, right? Awesome. George?
Alright, so mine is very different from Lisa. Ever since I've known her, she's the Oreo queen. Okay, so anything Oreo related, I go to her on that. Mine is very different. What I have right now as mine is my number one thing I focus on is my sphere influence, SOI. I do wellness calls. I don't do real estate calls, I do wellness calls. And then I do Facebook marketing and videos for training, and I also do team events. So I don't do door knock, I don't do cold call, I don't do marketing, I don't have any money on campaign. It's all word of mouth marketing. But I met quite a few people recently who know me and have been watching my videos for many years, and now they're getting approved. So I know that it's paying off, and it's been maybe 3 years now that I've been putting out videos. Every single Monday I do a market update, and every Tuesday I do a live coaching call. So that's kind of my 3 pillars that I focus on. Has it changed over time? It has, and it hasn't changed because it's working, it's changed because the clientele I'm looking for. One thing I learned from Coach Tony Robbins' team in life is that you got to be looking for your ideal client, and my ideal client is not door knocking. My ideal client is somebody who trusts and likes who I am. So when we connect and when I sit down, I might take 3 calls a week, but I get three appointments and 3 meetings. So I don't talk to as many people, but my conversion is 99%. So everybody I talk to, we sit down and sign a contract. So my system is very different today. And kind of going back to what Lisa was talking about, you got to pick a niche. And my niche is people who like the stuff I talk about, who trust the system. And I'm not building a business, I'm building a life of family and friends around me. So all the people I'm working with, they're people that want to be a part of my life. So it's very
And
different.
everyone has a part of you.
Correct. So it's very different today.
So mine has, even in short 3.5 years, has changed quite a bit. Of course, it started out with a lot of just cold calling, just trying to build a database, get as many people in as possible, play the numbers game. But it quickly shifted after my first family reunion, came with my big aha that I wanted to be involved and get back and go into the community more. And it's turned into, similar to what George was saying, I want to build my own community of people. And it's more of, I sit down with you, we're signing a contract because you know and trust me, and trust the information that I'm giving out. Open houses and door knocking was a big part, still is part of it. It was a much larger part at first, but again, it was getting myself out there. Part of it was a learning experience for me. It helped me start to communicate better with people about real estate, just being out doing that. And it just kept me active to it, made me at least feel like I was doing something while I was trying to figure out what to do and what made me the best. But besides that part of it, it's for me, it's the community involvement, building business partners, finding people, industries, especially doing the handyman stuff now. I know so many contractors and business owners that I'm building a relationship with them. And, you know, the slow run of eventually those referrals start to trickle in from them, even because I'm referring business out to them as well. And then, yeah. Yeah, it's a big industry, and one thing I hear, so if you have a good contractor, hold them very tightly and refer people to them, because that's all I hear when I'm doing handyman work, is nobody will return my calls. Like they just want someone to call them back to come do the work. You can find somebody who's consistent with that, you're gonna have a good business partner as well. But the other side of it for me is now with Sean's help there in the back, I'm gonna do more social media and marketing stuff to have a passive side where something else, it's being handled in the background for me, but now it's gonna keep me involved in the gyms, Minnesota Strongest Realtor, and
You're not really the strongest.
when somebody did challenge it, actually. It wasn't powerless to challenge it. But I just did respond. So. But like getting more involved in those events, just because, I mean, for me, that's such a big group of people, that's thousands of people. All throughout the cities, the gym that I go to, Los Campeones, he has 10 gyms in the Twin Cities now. He actually is opening his 10th in 2 months. One, he's a phenomenal as well. So making partners with people like that and getting myself out there being part of my community, because that's how I want to do business. I want to just be a part of a community, people trust and know me and like me, go, oh, great, we do real estate too. I want to use you. I know you were here helping with this food drive. I know you were here helping with this lifting event. It's all a part of it. So mine is definitely shifted over time, but my main focus now is kind of on the social and community side, for all that.
Can I add one more thing? Please. I don't know if every agent does it the same way because it depends on your experience as an agent. What you know about homes, what type of homes. One of the big things the last 3 years that shifted for me was a lot of new builds. I got really good relationships with technically most of the builders locally. I know the agents, I know the location they cover, so we got a lot of deals done that wasn't even listed. Some of these were non-listed brand new bills. We got buy down rates, we got 40,000 off the purchase price, just because I know the agent and basically they will go back and fight for you. So knowing the agent or knowing the new build reps in that location changes your business and your ability.
Absolutely, that's a good add right now, especially when we know that that's where a lot of sales are coming from, is that new construction is having those relationships with you being the buyer's representation are important for them to get the best possible deal and also for you to look at the market. Grant, I'm gonna add this together. So question one is, you time block. You do time block right now, okay? In that time blocking, what's your lead gen? What are you doing on a daily basis as a part of your time blocking to lead gen?
So my time blocking, I'm not like a lot of us say traditional agents where it's like 8 to 9 a.m. every day. Because one, my handyman stuff, that flexes all over, but I always make sure there's a block that happens each day. And I make sure I'm not filling my day with too much other stuff. Sometimes it happens at 8, 9 o'clock at night because I did fill up my day, but I know I need to go home and still get in, you know, my emails that need to go out or my calls that still need to go out. So I end up sending videos, messages if it's too late or too early in the morning to make phone calls. So a lot of mine is done lead gen wise, it's flexible, but it's still there every day.
So I know if you guys are newer, you're going to freak out when you see people's time block schedule. I remember when we did rehabbing, the multi-billionaires that were coaching us, their time block was from 8 or 7 in the morning until 8 every night. And they are very good at that. My schedule doesn't look like that. I've seen a really good time block schedule. And in our business, you don't have to have that to be successful. So I think the number one thing that I took away from time blocking is that it comes back to KW's theory. Build a life by design, live a life by design. And you may have kids, you may not have kids, you may love to travel, you may do, you know, lifting, whatever you want to do in your life. If your time block doesn't fit your life and at the end of that journey, you're not happy, you're not time blocking correctly. It should be giving back to yourself, your partner, your kids, your life, community stuff that you're getting into. That's a big thing that I like to do. So I would say that your time block schedule on the lead gen side, my lead gen is very different. I don't sit down and call 2-3 hours and get an appointment and stuff. That's not how I lead gen. I lead gen, and when I get to the right person, I'll talk to them and then it'll become a contract. So sometimes I'll be on a 4-hour call because they have problems I have to solve. And then when I solve that problem, they send me 2 more buyers the next week. So my time block is very different. I make it very people driven, and I'm always looking for problems. That's my time block. Is I'm not calling people to say, how can I help you? No, I'm calling to say, what's going on in your life that you need to eat. So I'm actually trying to solve people's problems. So my time block is built around finding the right person who has a problem that I need to solve. Like this morning, I called a guy. He was trying to buy with me maybe 2 years ago, and he's at the very bottom of his life right now, and I'm meeting with him at 2 o'clock today. Yeah. He has no ability to buy, but I'm going to get him there. So my time block is very driven to help people get to their end goal, and as they get there, they become your number one fan, that changes your career.
If you guys remember last week with Rick Rubin, right, and what Rick and his team were building, his response was almost dead on to what George just said. His intention isn't to go out, he's not having those conversations with people about buying, selling, or investing. He's having conversations about meeting them where they were at. And so that's the second time in 2 weeks that a big performer, a big producing agent said, this is what I'm doing to get into communication, to get into relationships, and to benefit those people. Awesome work. All right, Lisa, so time blocking and leading.
Parking, absolutely. I plan my month, I plan my week, I plan my days. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Do I always stick to it? No. The biggest thing that I get out of time, like, honestly, is I have so much to do, I can't get it done. And what time blocking does for me, it tells me when I'm not gonna get done. And that is on the one hand hard and on the other hand a relief. Because otherwise it's like, I think I have to do everything every day and I failed because I didn't get all this stuff done. But if I actually like map out what it is that I'm gonna do, then it's like, oh, actually can't get these other things. And so you can make changes accordingly. So for me, that's the biggest gift that I provide. As far as lead gen, I say my business goes like this, and lead gen goes like this. When I'm busy, I'm not lead genning, and when I am not busy, then I am trying really hard. Honestly, you don't even want to know what I do right now for lead gen. It's like next to nothing. But, you know,
You
in the
spent-
past,
To be fair,
yeah.
since I've been here, they weren't great years, and you were still here morning, noon, and night, making those calls, asking for the business, creating those relationships and fostering an opportunity.
So Nick definitely heard me on the phone more than once, many, many times. Right now, if he hears me on the phone, it's because I'm
She's close.
dealing with, yeah, like what I have in front of me, but yeah.
Can I add one more thing that will help people?
Yeah, good.
Besides time blocking, when you look at the end of the year where you gotta do the training to schedule out, you know, how many deals you wanna do per year. The one thing that I did with my team last year that I haven't done before is I stuck with not just time blocking, making sure I log in the hours. I stuck with appointments I have to set every week. So that I made that a goal for myself. So if I say I need 3 appointments, because appointment is the key to success of the business, it's not talking to people, it's setting appointments. So I would.
I gotta stop. Goal is set appointments. Gary Keller said that too this year, right? And so it's the year of the appointment, right? It is. So it's not just about talking to people, but it's about setting an appointment.
And I set appointment, even if it's to, like the guy meeting today. I know he's in a low part of his life, but I set the appointment to see what I can do to help him and what else I can ask him that might be tied to real estate. So I set the appointments every single week. I try to get 3 appointments just for myself. And then I tell my wife to set her own appointments, even if I have to take it. But the number one thing I saw in the last 2 years is really setting appointments, sticking to that.
Time block.
Yes, I time block personal time for the kids when they get up and when we have to study. So I time block for the family, the business, I stick with, if I have to hit 3 appointments, I'll do what it takes to hit that 3 appointments.
That's your time block. It's not the 3 appointments.
Correct. That's my schedule every week. If I hit 3, I'm good. Sometimes it goes over, sometimes it's under, but every single week I hit my 3 appointments for myself every week.
That's awesome, George. George, will you have the microphone? This might be perfect to start with you is, what does your business look like in the next year? What does your business look like in the next 5 years?
Okay, so that's a really tough one because I have different things I want to transition as a part of my personal life. So in the next year or so, my goal, especially this year, is to be better at using the lead gen, the CRM system. I'll be the first to tell you, I don't use that at all, okay? I have people in that database. I've organized it this year. Do I use that to call people? No, because I go off of, I do look at the list and I go through my phone and then I basically look at the list to see like, you know, what node do I have on them and who haven't I called? And so I go down that list, but it has not been consistent in my 10 years. So one of my main goals is to really stick with the system, how to lead gen correctly using the CRM and putting note on every single person that I call. I got to like the 10th person on my list this year and I'm already swamped. Like, I have no time to breathe.
Yeah.
So that's why like my time lock is not consistent because sometimes you call 2 people and you get 10 deals and now you have to handle the 10 deals. There's nobody else. I'm a one-man show. So I found that to be very, very good to keep that organized. So my main one goal for for the next year here is to keep that under check, to make sure that I go through that full list. And again, I call it wellness check. So my goal is to, when I call them, I'm actually calling them, telling them that it's a new system I've implemented, that I'm going to be calling them every single quarter. Even if I don't make it, that's what I'm gonna tell them. Every single quarter, I'm gonna call people on my list and check up on them to see what's going on. And I've seen for myself that people want to use you and have questions, they're not gonna call you unless you call them. So that's my 1 year. The 5 years from now, I want to build a team out to replace myself because ultimately for me, I want to build a life coaching company. I want to be focused on the life coaching side of life, and real estate is just a secondary to my team. So.
Thank you for sharing. Go ahead, Grant. 1 and 5. What are you gonna do in the next year? What do you have in view for the next 5?
The next year is, again, with just being solo this year, is to build this up to a point where I already feel consistent in it. I want to be hitting well over 20, going into my next year, already having those prepped for my 2026 year. And just having the feeling of the consistency in my business and that it's moving all in the right direction with an end goal of the 5 year. And I'll put this out there to give myself some accountability as well. My 5 year goal would be that I'm doing enough business so that my wife can quit working corporate because she hates it, but she makes good money. So she's afforded me a lot of options with getting into real estate, and kind of taking the brunt of everything in our financial relationship for these first couple of years. And the goal is to get her away from it so she can pursue what she's wanting, what she's passionate about. She wants to be a volleyball coach still. She's opening a travel business. She's very good at it. And then she also wants to do consulting for business as well. It's things she's very passionate about, but I'm tied to her corporate job right now. So doing enough business that we can make that trade-off. And that I'm doing all the things that I love on my end, she can start really pursuing all the things that she loves. Yeah, just having it build up there.
And in 5 years, you're gonna be an NBA player.
Cool. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'll be the best.
All right, go ahead.
1 year versus 5 years. 5 years. 5 years, I'd like everything to be like running smoothly and not have to work so hard for sure. In order to do that, I have to do the things that I have not done in the past, which is being consistent and having the proper systems and the proper marketing and things like that. Right now, I have the pipeline for this year. So really the next focus is, okay, what am I gonna focus on for next year? What systems am I gonna put into place this year such that I'm creating next year? So yeah, I'm already looking out a year for what I need to do.
All right, one last question, guys, for each of you, and this is always a weird question, right? It's, you're offering advice or saying something that maybe is an opinion. So this is your moment for opinions. Lisa, we'll start with you. What is something you'd like to share with the agents in the room that would make them successful in this industry right now?
Right now, show up. Do the work. Show up. Do the work. Show up. Eventually something will pop. You know, you may have heard this saying before, but have you ever bought anything from a salesperson that you really didn't like and wasn't really good? And the answer, yes, why? Show up and do the work. Eventually.
Beautiful. Show up and do the work. All right, George, what about you?
So I post a lot about this on Facebook. I think the most successful problem that people have that is not creating success, they don't know what they're talking about. I would say that, I mean, I'm just being honest, you know, some agents go call people and tell them to use them, but they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what a soffit is. They don't know what a facial looks like. They don't know where the furnace is. They don't know how to change a furnace filter. If you don't know what you're talking about, go hire or shadow somebody and learn what you're doing. You're in the business of real estate. You're not in the business of opening doors. You got to know what makes a house good or bad. And after so many years, like going back to what Lisa's saying, when you show up and you know what you're doing and people pay attention. I had a call last night with a guy that's moving back from Michigan. He didn't use me when he bought his first house, but now I'm selling his house as a referral and buying his house here. And we already found his house. He's not even moved yet. Because I already saw his house because I've been showing my other clients. So when we had that conversation, I knew exactly the house we were talking about. And he hasn't even moved yet. So technically, that's like 2 transactions without even signing a contract. So I would say knowing what you're talking about and staying in the business long enough to really understand. So when you put the message out there, however, you can back it up. I think that's the number one thing that I see that agents are failing, even though they're closing deals. If you close the first 5 and they never come back, you don't have a business. After my 5th year, my business became a repeat business. So I would work with 15 people, but that's 30 transactions because they're all selling. So that's kind of how I shifted my business in the last 5 years. I'm not looking for new people. I'm actually going back to my ideal client, and we're building a new relationship. And now they're using me more. So my one client from last year, his brother-in-law used me, sold and bought. He used me, he sold and bought, and his mom sold with me, and they're buying land this year. With just one family, I'm doing 6 transactions this month. So it's not talking to new people. It's talking to the same people and helping them with their other goals that they're trying to achieve. But you got to know what you're talking about. If you don't know what you're talking about, nobody should hire you. But I think that's the number one thing that makes people successful. You got to know what you're doing, you got to know what you're talking about, and then you market yourself until people believe you.
First, I have to echo both of you because they're probably the top tier tips. One is to continue, just stay in it and do it. It will work out, and know what you're doing though, because doing something aimlessly will not get you anywhere. People will see through it. BS doesn't work in this field. And if it does, it'll probably get you in trouble eventually. But like you said, go to our classes that we have, even if it's, the home inspection, go to it. Yeah, we're doing the transactions. You need to know these homes. One thing that's helped me is the handyman stuff. Not everybody needs to go be a handyman, but know what you're talking about when you go to them. Know how to find the date on a furnace. Know how to find the date on a water heater. Know what certain elements are. You don't need to know construction, but know the good and bad of a home or things that could get flagged by this stuff. Could be problematic. You want to look into more. We just had a townhome in this tiny crawl space. Inspector got in, he kind of was wishy-washy about, there was a post that was in there and spray foam looked odd, and he kind of flagged it. And I'm like, yeah, let's take a look into this. Comes out, it needs an entire beam on it. It was completely improperly placed. It shouldn't be there. We negotiated it, got it as part of the deal. Otherwise, it would have been improper. Actually, they were not going to pursue the home. They would have lost out of that, and then it did become a disposable thing. It actually needed to be fixed. What's hazardous, not, on the border of it. It's so just also, like we talk about, stay curious, because things like that, you can ask more questions about it. Tell me more about that. Why did this seem like it could be a red flag? It's, yeah, all of that together is kind of where I've really started to push what I do. But do it genuinely too. Find the part that you really gravitate towards, because one, you're probably going to know more about that. It's going to be easier to stay consistent. It will work. So pour yourself into it 100%. And if, like you asked about time blocking personal time, I do that. But I also have times where I don't time block any, because I'm finding a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks where I'm pouring myself into all my businesses, but I'm enjoying it. That is my personal time because it's my businesses. Meanwhile, my wife's still working a bunch too. We just, hang out for an hour quick at the end of the night if we can, and we know each other's working. And then I take a break and I'll go on a vacation, or I'll have a Wednesday, because I know I'm working the full weekend. I'll take a half a day on Wednesday, go do something fun, or go hang out or just relax at home for a little bit. Meanwhile, I'm still messaging clients and still doing things. Make it part of your life so that it doesn't always feel like work either, because you're consistently helping someone, which is a big part of it. Once you get into that mindset, again, you're gonna attract people more because you're genuine about what you're doing, not just transactional. Me, that's the most important part. To be genuine.
I think you're right. And, you guys, let's give these guys a round of applause. Your desire, you guys, to be able to share in this moment. Each of you has a very distinctly different business, and yet each of you is finding success and rhythm in that. And so, if you guys have any other questions, any questions you guys want to ask? Todd, go ahead.
I think there's one thing that's really evident from listening to each one of you speak, and that is that you're learning base, right? You just had some really great answers to questions. So is there any training every year that you say, or you believe is a must attend training that you would suggest?
For me as UPW with Tony Robbins, because I believe that if you don't enjoy what you do and who you are, you can't service people, and people work with people they like. So it's not like they're choosing you because they saw you close 25 deals. They don't know your record unless they're an agent. But if they see you and they like you because of who you become, they use you. And I think that's how you build an ideal client. And the ideal client wants to be friends with you. So I would, for me, I would recommend life training because it does change your personal side and your business side. Yeah, UPW, Unleash the Power Within with Tony Robbins. It's once per year. That completely changed my life and my business just from that one training. And it came from the office here at KW, where I first heard about it.
I would say any of our classes that are, like I mentioned, the home inspection classes, things that are informational about homes, or a models and systems class to actually implement, and don't just go into it thinking, oh, here's all these models. Grab one of them, just one model, one system, and implement it fully. It'll make it.
Awesome, guys. Hey, I appreciate you guys one more time. Let's give them a round of applause. Honestly, all right, we're gonna jump in. We have just quick, I have a quick announcement, and then we have somebody else coming up that I want to talk to you guys. Phil M. Jones, how many of you have read this book? How many of you are familiar with his name? Okay. For those of you that are, you already know what this is. For those of you that don't, have you ever felt like sometimes your words betray you? The conversations you're having aren't the conversations you wish you were having? This is an opportunity. Phil is a sales language genius. He spent most of his career writing books about how we have conversations and how to get the information you need from that conversation without feeling salesy or pushy or like you're not needy. I have a number of these books that we've done, but here's the thing, guys. This is one of those moments that you're going to think, I wish I was in that room. So seek us out. One of us, there's General. The General is $199. The VIP is $499. The VIP, you get a whole slew of additional opportunities, meet and greets, one-on-ones, book signing, photo opportunities. So if you've not read the book yet, take the next month or so and get that into your repertoire. But this is going to be one of those moments, guys, that Phil is going to be sharing things that you're not going to hear from anybody on a local level, maybe a regional level. This is Phil is an international speaker, and he's not the kind of guy who comes around very frequently, especially for this sort of one-on-one. So do this. All right. Last one, I want to bring up Chad here. Chad, come on up, my friend. Chad is going to talk a little bit about a rental analysis class that's got coming up. How many of you have investors that you currently are in your network? Okay. How many of you have conversations about setting some of these conversations up for you and being able to be the best possible resource? All right, I can get it. All right, take it away, man.
So part of actually that ALC helped to bring this about. And so we wanted to bring John Hicks, who's from Deutsche Bank, actually just down the road here. We're going to be doing a hands-on, it's really hands-on, analytical
training. We're gonna jump into spreadsheets here. It's actually gonna be for an hour, hour and a half or so, but we'll have actual spreadsheets from anywhere from 2 to 4 units. It's a one-page document if you're trying to look to analyze, hey, what's the cash flow cap rate on this duplex, right? All the way up to John is actually a big SBA lender. He's one of the top SBA lenders here in the Twin Cities. And there's actually gonna be about 3, I know a lot of people here actually work with individuals that look to buy businesses and sell businesses. Actually, in the next 5 to 10 years, there's gonna be about 3 million businesses that are gonna be trading hands. So John will be able to talk about that too. And this is the key thing, to have a partner on your side from a lender standpoint. John is really, I mean, he'll break it down. And actually, what we would like to have is if we could have like 2 to 3 different properties or 3 to 4 different properties that we could work with. So if you're interested in coming to the training, let me know. We'll identify a couple of properties that we can actually do the deep dive analysis into it. And one thing this is gonna kind of extend into is we're looking to do a real estate investment club within the market center. I know, Forrest and myself are looking to get something started here, similar to what Maple Grove has in place. Has anyone attended that club at all? Yep. Great tools, great group. So we're gonna be looking to have a monthly investment club here. We can do anything from Airbnb rentals all the way up to commercial properties as well too. But let me know if you're looking to attend this, because I will send you the specific spreadsheet that we have as well too. So you kind of use them in your particular deals as well too. And again, let me know if you have particular properties that you'd like to go through an AMI too. I know what we're seeing is that we're probably gonna hit a bubble with some 2 to 3 unit properties out there, because the prices are just crazy, right? So we'd love to analyze a couple of 2 to 3 units and then jump up maybe 5 to 10 unit apartment buildings. Yeah. Here's the thing, you guys, this is an opportunity. One, Chad is incredible instructor in delivering information that is useful because he's using it effectively. Is being able to have additional conversations. I know from some of you in my one-on-one coaching that some of the activities that you're doing are actually leading you naturally to have a conversation about wealth with your client base, and it's going to eventually lead here. So I mean, when the investment go and get some and participate. I know for some of the other market centers, including Maple Grove, that have done something like this, the wealth building, the opportunity to come together and to invest and to do some cool things are pretty incredible. So, guys, I think that I got one. All right, so how many of you haven't eaten yet? Go back and grab some tacos. There's a couple other Herbalife drinks back there. George, one more. How do you sign up? That's great. How do you sign up? Yeah. We'll work on the actual registration. All right, guys. There's a class after with Dad. Go get your food, go get your stuff, come back in here. If you want to learn more about how to help your clients. Have a good day. Go kick some ass, go help somebody, guys. Next one. Yeah. Yeah.